Hollers and Hills of West Virginia, it's Heavenly Hills Homestead with another episode. Stay tuned. Boom. road on the side of it there. I can't tell what it is. That he turned off the side of his truck says Pepsi Cola. See if we can get it in this curve here. And if he's on this road for a while, I'll try to catch it so y'all can see it. It's pretty cool. Pepsi Cola on the side of his truck. Got a Pepsi Cola cooler in the back of his truck there. And hopefully one of these curves here will be good enough to catch it. If not, a couple miles, you gotta stop and turn left or right, I think. Just hang back here for just a second. Cow got in the way. I'm gonna shoot your cow.
I was like, what cow is it?
That cow.
That you mean a real cow?
Yep. That's a good one right there. Got it. Finally got it. They finally got it. Finally, the rock has returned. All right, decided we'll give you a little talk about this. This is the town of Lewisburg. Okay, it's nice. You see, lots of stuff to do, you know, and stores or whatever. Right? It's a pretty old town, city, whatever you want to call it. Have to look it up again exactly when it was established. We'll put it right here. The time was established, but this is where the state fair is held down here in Lewisburg. So look here, gas is $3.78. We pay $4.09, and we could have drove an hour down here and had it for $4.78. That's ridiculous. Or $3.78. Anyways, so yeah, the fair is held down here, and there's some really nice houses and stuff down through here. I mean, just huge, nice houses, old style houses, and it's supposed to be a relatively good little area to live in. I would suspect it is. Hey, how you doing there, police officer? This is the state fair ground right through here. All these buildings right here, that's all the state fair. Probably will be coming down here this year with hopefully some giants that we'll have ready to go this year. We're more prepared this year, so hopefully we'll have a few giants to bring and show off and all that good stuff. You know, we'll have some tomatoes and hopefully some giant corn and some other giants. Don't know exactly what all yet. Maybe a few giant pumpkins. We'll see. I would like to bring a nice one down here and break the record. I think the record set there was like 1,400 or 1,500 pounds, something like that maybe is what the record is there. I can't remember. Anyhow, I'll post it right here what the record is on the size of the pumpkin that was taken to the state fair. But we'd like to beat that record at some point. Don't know if it'll be this year, but it would be cool to do. You don't get nothing for it, you know, really, I don't think. There's no GPC way off, you know, or anything there, but just to hold the state fair record is all I want, just a site record. because it wouldn't be the unless it was over 2,000 pounds. It, you know, like Bob Cyrus's pumpkin, it would not be the state record, but it would be the state fair site record, and that would be pretty cool just to have a site record. To me, site records, having them are pretty awesome. This whole field right here is going to be corn. Probably the next time y'all see this field, that entire field will be nothing but corn. So take a good look at it now. In fact, I'll see if I can't go back in my videos from last year, post a picture right here. Of last year's video when we came by this, and all that was corn at that time. So I'll see if I can post a picture of it here, and so if I can, you'll see all that corn and everything that was growing there last year. Anyways, we're almost to Mr. Rodebaughs' house, old Doc Rodebaughs. We'll drop by and see him for a second and give him some goodies and get some goodies from him. So we're going to end it right here and on to the next. The 1992.5 Pierpont. I ain't kidding y'all. Look at that thing. Have some nice looking plants. Nice looking plants. They look good. This one here looks like he's doing a little bit better, don't it?
I think so. That other one's sending all of its energy to the cot.
Yeah, that's just crazy. They look like roid cots.
Yeah.
What are you feeding these things, man? Oh, goodness. This is the setup I need right here like that. That thing's perfect. Perfect setup. Yeah, maybe next year.
That's a 6x8, just a little tent thing. That Shelter Logic's the brand.
Shelter Logic?
And they sell it as a greenhouse, and it actually comes with a real covering
right.
of the same material as the end walls.
Okay.
But it's not airtight. So I used that for 1 year and tape and everything, and it was just a mess. So what I ended up doing is modifying it, keeping the end walls, and just using regular Lowe's plastic, like a 6 mil.
Okay. Well, how long growth can you get out of this?
I will have this up for about 25 to 30 days. 25
to 30 days?
Yeah.
And that plant will be how big? Touching the end of it when you're
banging on
taking
the end of the wall. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
What about your secondaries? Will they be the
longest one will probably be about 18 inches tops.
Okay.
Yep.
So not
crazy.
Huge.
Nothing crazy. And a lot of times at that point, when I'm starting to come out of the huts, I got to hit them with like a cow mag or something like that.
Right.
Just to get those secondaries to pump.
To go off. Man, that's looking good. I'll show them this real quick over here. Did you do this year?
Yeah, I've had a trench here for several years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought, I didn't remember it from last year.
Get a little bit of diversion.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Check these out, y'all. This is the 1965.5
Yes, sir.
Rodebaughs, the big one he grew last year, Seneca. And this is the seeds off of that. Look at them things. Looking good. What are these, moisture meters?
No, those are thermometer gauge.
Oh, okay.
I just checked my thermometer or Bluetoothed over to a little receiver.
Oh, that's cool. That's real
nice.
cool.
You can be inside and check it and go, holy moly, the
right.
pots are too...
Right, need to open it up, turn the fan on.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. They look good. Got a real nice little setup in here. You turn the light on at night still?
Yeah. Right now we're only about 55 degrees at night or 50 degrees. I'm only turning on the chicken rearing light.
Okay. So you're using the light for heat?
The light's for heat. Now the ceramic heater is set up on a thermostat.
Right.
If it goes below 60, it kicks on.
Okay.
So my huts are never below 60.
Okay. Do you worry about having the extra light on at night and not giving the plants a break?
No, don't.
Okay.
No, don't.
Because I know a lot of guys have told
like
me,
break,
you know, if you don't give the plant a break, then, you know, all that. So I was of a mindset. I've tried it both ways, and I'll be honest with you, I can't tell a difference.
Yeah, I haven't had any differences, and I even with the halogen,
Right.
I'll use the halogen later on to help train the plant when it's laying down. Yep.
Okay. Now, how do you do that? You just lay it in front of the vine and get it to go that way, and then chase the vine.
Yep, it chases it.
And it's just like a sunflower. Sunflower follows the sun, the vine follows the light.
Pretty much. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's cool. That's real good information to have right there. So you just lay the halogen on the ground?
Yep, it's right there.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, the yellow light right there.
That fan, I'll move it out of the way, and
that's pretty cool.
it lights them up like a Christmas tree. It's lit up in there.
When you go put your fencing up, yeah.
I will probably put the fencing up after I take the huts off.
After you take the
huts
off.
So I take the huts off, and then I put wind fencing all around.
Right.
In the patch around the plants.
Right.
And then I start the process of just rolling out my wind fence.
What are you going to do up here with that one, with the little patch?
I'm not going to have electric, but I will have a wind fence.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll put up electric wires to make it look like electric.
Okay. That'll work. Train them a little bit. Yeah. That'll work. All right. Well, you're looking good. Yeah. Well ahead of me, as always.
Still early.
Yeah. So, well, how long before you're gonna wait for these plants to get how big before you choose which one?
I will not. That's a good question. I'll make sure that they both have growing tips that are clean.
Right.
You know, not double vined or any of that nonsense. So
right.
It normally about a foot and 18 inches to 24.
Is that, and that's what?
1.5 to 2 foot.
So you're not like a lot,
down.
Right? But you're not like a lot of guys that wait till them things are sometimes
8 foot or 9
right?
Foot. No. Yeah.
I know. Last year I think I waited till they were 4 to 6 foot, somewhere around there.
And that's not horrible. That's not horrible. But 8 or 9 and stuff like that.
Right. I want to know early this year. I want to know, because the way that I'm going to have to grow is I'm going to have to put them out there. I think maybe one we end up getting a small covering, just like I did last year. We'll have one that has a small covering, goes out, a few weeks early, and has, heat cable, all that stuff.
Nice.
But then after that, I have to follow up with the rest of them. So I have to know exactly what's what. I don't get to put 2 of them out here. And this is probably the better way to do it.
This makes more sense.
Yeah. But with me, just because I don't have all the grow huts yet.
That makes good sense.
Yeah, just have to put it down and let it do its thing and know which ones are which. But definitely have to grow extras just to be sure, because them double vines happen,
Exactly.
And
you can't grow them. People grow them out of it, but they never get good fruit off.
Remember last year, I grew that one out of it. That's 1673.5 Bartimus.
Yep.
I grew it out of it, and every time it produced a pumpkin, it would get 50 to 75 pounds. The pumpkin would die.
Yep.
And it's like, well, why did the pumpkin die? There was no reason for it to have. It just went down. So
bad plumbing.
Yep, that is. So I think, last year when everybody was like, oh, you need to kill it, just throw it away. I did an experiment with it, and now I agree, kill it. Don't, if that is the absolutely only seed left, and that is the only way that you might be able to get a viable, right. But if you've got more seeds or you have a better plant, throw it away and try that seed again next year. Yep. So that's the thinking behind that. You gonna grow tomatoes? Yeah.
I am, dude. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta go get yours. I got some more stuff.
Cool.
I forgot.
I'll take tomatoes.
Yeah. Little competition between the kids, huh?
Yeah, man.
You got them going yet?
Yeah, I have tomato plants about like this.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I got for the kids, I planted the 3.62 yo that you gave me.
Nice.
So they'll have those to kind of fiddle fart with and
Steve
everything.
Strickler gave me some. They're an 8 point something.
8.01 or 8.10 McDonald?
No, it's just Strickler.
Okay.
Yeah, 8 something Strickler. This past year.
Okay.
Which is cool. I was like, well, no, you grow these.
You gonna put them down there in your box?
Yeah, I'm gonna have 3 plants. That's it.
3 plants. Well, that's all you had last year.
Yeah, it's all
they do
plants.
great too.
Yeah, that's
heck, you get huge tomatoes down there.
All right, dude. That box for being a silly box.
It works, man. That thing was producing like crazy.
Did you sign?
All right, here's the clone that he was working on, off of the 1511.
1511.
Rodebaughs, which is
2350 clone.
Right, it's a 2350 clone. So you don't have any seeds out of the 1511, right?
No, sir.
So, but here is the 2350 clone. So it's still a 2350. It still has the genetics for that very, very, very orange pumpkin that he produced last year. I mean, that thing was glowing red like a nuclear plant. Anyway, so this is the clone, and then you say you're gonna let it grow out, throw a main vine down,
Yep.
and then take this out,
Yes.
and let that main vine produce its own stump,
Yep.
and everything. So here this is. It's looks. I mean, for what it is, it's looking good. And he says this is the second. This is the second clone.
This is the second off the original clone. Original clone, I just pitched it about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was getting pretty long in the tooth.
Right.
This one, this is months old, and
Right.
it's had multiple clones taken off of it. And I still have about 2 to 3 decent clones left that I will probably plant after this one. The only reason this one's out here is it's early. I want to see what it does.
See what it does.
This
yeah.
is a good test clone.
It is.
I do not expect.
Well, I'm excited to see it.
I don't expect it to be our final clone to hit the soil or our eventual
Right.
clone, but
You have bigger, better ones
oh
inside.
yes.
Okay.
Oh yes.
Wonder why this one being the second one didn't get, because you were constantly cloning off
yep,
of it.
Yep.
Okay.
I've been taxing that plant.
What's
hard.
that big blowhole right there?
That's where I originally cut it,
Right.
and it's healed up.
Okay.
Yeah.
That looks really good.
Isn't that,
it
it's
did.
a good clean heal.
It
isn't
did. It did
Yeah.
real good.
Sterile instruments.
There you go. That's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be really exciting. So no watermelons this year.
No.
No watermelons. All pumpkin.
I can't beat Andrew Vile, so I'm gonna stop for now.
I think we're gonna take him down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna take him down. I'm gonna grow a tiny little plant, and I'm gonna grow a big old
Big old
watermelon.
watermelon.
Yep.
Yeah.
And take him down. That looks good, man. It's gonna be good. Stella's gonna have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And 200 square foot.
This is 20 by 20, so it's about 400.
400 square foot. You're gonna grow it in a diamond pattern, corner to corner.
I'm gonna grow it out, and I'm gonna try to have the pumpkin set, 10 to 15 feet.
Right.
And the longest secondaries are going to try to be the last couple secondaries.
Okay.
Diamond and around.
Okay. That'll look good.
Yeah, I think that's a smart way to do it.
I think so. That one I'm gonna have in the corner of my yard. That's how I'm gonna do it, because I'm angling from the fence over into the patch, so that side of the patch is gonna look kind of like a triangle,
Nice.
and I'm gonna grow it like that. I'll let you get to that, and then I'll grab it. Voted coolest small town in the USA. I don't see how it's voted the same, because Fayetteville is also voted the coolest town in the USA. So which one's the coolest town in the USA? So we've the GPS has taken us a new way home, and yeah, yep. So it's all that out there looking good and new, and all that. And go home and finish up the Long Gourd Trellis. Dad's supposed to come over with the ladder now. So he called me while we were down here and said he was going to come down with the ladder this evening and put that Long Gourd Trellis up. So we'll get to that. It's a pretty field out through there, very pretty. Hopefully we get there anyhow. We don't know, because we don't know where we're at right now. Somewhere in Lewisburg or the vicinity thereof. All we did was make a quick detour to the Lowe's to pick up some zip ties, some heavy duty zip ties, which I'll show you after a while, so that we could go home and put this up and get it secured and stable. And anyhow, the GPS decided to take us down these weird, awkward roads for some reason. And yeah, so now we're lost. Annie's been hitting speed humps at 30, 40 mile an hour because they have blended in with the surroundings supposedly. And I could see through a rearview mirror that there was obviously a hump. But it's okay. We just Dukes of Hazzard it on out and felt pretty good. Felt great. So, oh, look at all the cows. That's a lot of cows. A lot of cows.
They must have a truck that looks like this. They're all heading toward the road.
What?
They must have a truck that looks like this. They're coming toward the road.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're coming to the gate, ain't they? They think we're coming to feed them. Here they come through the gate. Come on, guys. We'll load one of you up. Which one of y'all want to go home with us? I'll load you up. Hey, them couple that were getting there in the back of the house in the field there, the guy that owns that field told me, he said, go on ahead and pop you one of them if you want it. I said, shoot, yeah. Because them don't belong to him either. he done told the feller to put them up and to keep them out of there. And obviously, guy can't keep them up or keep them out of there. So thought about maybe having some steaks. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll go home and they'll be there, and we can get one and have some fresh ribeyes this evening. T-bones or something. Place road is rough. What, there's no speed bumps out here? Speed humps. I ain't kidding y'all. I wish I would have videoed them speed humps now. Maybe I can get a Google image or something like that and put a picture up or something. But they do kind of camouflage, but there's a sign and they're painted white. I don't know how you missed that. They have white arrows on them. Oh, goodness.
But they still just look like paint.
Oh, well. It was fun.
Very subtle.
Very subtle, my gosh. Yeah, because 1 minute we all are thinking we're on this nice smooth road, and the next minute we're airborne. Hey, you think it's funny, don't you? It's a very confusing time. Like somebody pushed you out of a plane all of a sudden. Yeah. Anyhow. Oh crap, didn't mean to turn it up. Where is it at? Why don't you get it? What the heck? There it is. Goodness. Never seemed so hard to find a daggone helicopter in the sky. There's nothing else up there. Tried to zoom in on it and then turn the music up instead.
Watch out, Annie.
Alright guys, well, that should definitely grow a long gourd. 16 foot tall, guys, 16 foot tall. Looks pretty good, looks pretty good. Take you over in a minute, I'll show you all the ins and outs about it. Alright guys, well there it is, 16 foot tall. Looking pretty good, looking pretty good. I should have got up there all the way to the tip top, but I didn't. I think it's good. I don't think that little bit's gonna matter any. I will go through and try to get horseshoe nails put on here just to try to sure it up some. And you know, start like down here at the bottom and horseshoe nail it all the way up to the top, just to kind of help it all the way up. Well, as far as I can reach it is. I don't have to go all the way up. And it's really good, it's sturdy. Shake it and it don't go anywhere. So that ought to really grow a good one, I think. A good long gourd. I'm gonna put 3 plants on there, 1 on each pole. And then just kind of like let it do its thing. And probably end up calling one of them out. I don't, you know, we'll see. We'll see what it does. Definitely don't need 3 growing. So just put 3 out just to see what they do. So anyhow, guys, that's what we got. Now we're gonna go inside and we're gonna look at these little gifts that I got from Mr. Rodebaughs and get them potted up. So let's going to be showing y'all some gifts that we were given today by Mr. Doc Rodebaughs. But old Doc, let me tell you something. Doc is a stand-up fella. He really helped me last year a lot. I cannot thank him enough for everything that he did do. He really helped me out because I knew nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing. I knew how to grow, basic concept of growing, and he scooped me up and told me and taught me a lot. Okay, came up here a lot of times to help me out, loading the pumpkins, you know, all kinds of things, and it meant a lot. It helped me out a lot, and I'm very grateful and always will be very grateful for what Rodebaughs done for me. But what we have here is some more of his 2019 1347.5 Rodebaughs. It's 12% heavy. It was a 1742 Wolf crossed to the 2145.5 McMullen. And that 2145 McMullen, I have that seed over there in my seed stash. I am not going to grow it. Chris told me that seed was absolutely cursed in the state of West Virginia, so I don't know that I'll ever grow that seed, but I have it. Anyhow, we're going to put some of these in dirt, but he gifted me some pretty cool things here, guys. What did he gift me with? Oh, can you hear it? Oh my goodness. What's in the bag? What is in the bag? Oh my goodness. What's in the bag, guys? Oh. We'll put them two back in there. But what do we have here? What do we got? What's going on here, guys? Let's see if we can gently tease that out of there. Because there's roots in there and I don't want them. Look at them roots coming out of there. Oh my goodness. Oh my. See if we can pull that little bit of garbage off. I don't want that on the root, if I can help it. Be very gentle. What is this? What are these? These are the 1965, right? 1965, ain't that what it weighed? 1965.5 Rodebaughs. That's what these are. This was his pumpkin last year, Seneca, which is the Burchett crossed to the Tiger King. The father of these plants right here are the 2350 Gingers. That nuclear orange that he had last year. Yeah, look at the roots on this thing. I'm going to have to be very, very careful trying to get these roots teased off of here. In fact, I'm just going to kind of open it up so gently. Good one there. Just so crazy how they do that. Alright, we got a good one there. And then we'll put these two back in there. I didn't realize there was that many in there. I thought there was only 2 plants. So, actually, there's a whole lot more than just 2 plants. We'll take a marker and make it a hole there. If I had my Azos and my Mycos in here, I would probably go on ahead and add some of it in here, but I don't have it inside. It's outside in the oh goodness, the greenhouse. It's out in the greenhouse right now, so I'm not going to be doing any of that just yet. I'll do it at planting time. None of the rest of them have it on there right now, so let's kind of just see what the plants do on their own merit, right? Which, if these plants turn out like his other plants that are up there already, which I'm sure they will because they're the same seeds. Right? Stick them in there nice. Like so. Alright, Vader. My little grow chamber. Put them back in the grow chamber. Take the air out. Make sure you take the air out. You don't want air in there. Little as air as possible. You can just kind of roll it up there like so. Get the air out. Fill it up. Don't want that air in there. Air can cause bad things. So don't want air in there just yet. All right, and we're gonna start one of these 1347.5 Rodebaughs, and because I want to grow it. It's supposed to be a bulletproof plant, and I want to grow that rascal. Been wanting to grow it since last year, and I'm going to grow this seed. So there it is. Put this in some dirt, grow it out. So okay, so here we can get it to where y'all can see it good. You can't really see it. There we go. As you can see there, it's the North Carolina State Fair Great Pumpkin and Watermelon Way Off. That's my name, of course, and where I'm from. And the OTT of it was there. You can see the circumference, side to side, end to end, 285, and it was weighed 581. It's a really nice little plaque. You can see it's made really nice. It was just really nice, and I just wanted it. And so I'd ask about it, and Danny found it, and then I forgot to mail Danny Vester the envelope to mail this to me, because you can hear it, it's pretty thick. Anyhow, when Chris went down, they brought it to Chris and gave it to Chris. Chris brought it home for me, so thank you again for that. I just like little keepsake things like this, man. That's all it is. Just like it. Don't need it, but I wanted it. Thank you for bringing that home for me. Thank you for the plants. Thank you for the seeds. I'm hoping that this year is going to be a good year, guys. I don't usually toot my own horn. I try not to. But today I was pretty impressed, because Chris, he said, because I asked him, I said, why are you growing 2 plants? And he said, they were small. I had small plants. He said, and what's crazy is you had super small plants, like tiny plants. He was like, I don't think people understand, the size of your plants, because if they did, they'd be like, how in the world, right? Like, how did anything grow? And that made me feel good as a grower, because that means, that recognized by a more accomplished grower, a more seasoned grower, to sit there and say, hey, you did this, you grew phenomenal in a small area. Like, those plants were literally, and Chris can testify to this, and so can Carrie Gross, and so can Chris's dad, that I literally had pumpkins growing on the stumps of other pumpkins. My 1016 Cook was grown on the 950 Cook stump. I mean, literally, I pollinated it at like 8 foot. By the time it got up to 1,000+ pounds, it was the far left side was growing on top of the stump of the 950 Cook. So I mean, that's how tight those plants were. And yes, they had grown out of the patch, and had kind of took over that little bit of yard. But even at that, I mean, that yard wasn't tilled. There was nothing there, no nutrients really there, nothing. It was just extra foliage for, pretty much solar power, right? That's all that was. And my vines were my main vine on some of these were wrapped all the way backwards, back toward their own stump. And I mean, if people really take a look at last year, and ever analyze what I did in my first year, I think they'll be very surprised that a pumpkin come out of there weighing anything close to what these did. Whether it was the 1,000-pounder, whether it was the 950, which was over 1,000 when it was taped. Well, not taped, but it weighed. So like, for those of you who don't know, the 950 Cook rotted in the patch on me. It was going to be my last one to take, because it was measuring 849 pounds, but it was super thick. And I mean, you could tell by thumping on it that there was a different pumpkin, and it was still getting growth cracks. Even though the pumpkin itself was not growing in circumference any, there was no measurable growth, it was still cracking every day and with new visible cracks. So that just told me that it was growing on the inside internally. And it ended up busting on the bottom, and I lost the complete bottom of that plant, or excuse me, that pumpkin. I drug it out, gutted it out, took the whole stem section and shoulders out so I could get all the seeds out of it. I let it sit there for several days, about a week. Then I took a chainsaw and commenced to cutting it into pieces that could be weighed on my scale. My scales are pretty close to being on, because I weighed the butternut at 82.3 pounds, 83.3 pounds the day that I took it to get it weighed, and it actually weighed 83.1. So it was 0.2 pounds off. And so anyhow, when I weighed those pumpkin chunks, I ended up with a total of 950 pounds. So that pumpkin was probably 1,000+ pound pumpkin, being over 20% heavy, which does not happen. All right, especially last year in my patch, I was not getting good cation exchange rates. I mean, it was just kind of funky, you know, and everything. But I grew, well, even at this, I grew a total on the 2261 Schmidt. I grew a 480 something on that one, and then I grew a 580 on it as well. So I mean, I was still over 1,000 pounds there, you know. So I grew 1,000 on there. I grew 1,000 on the 950 Cook. I grew the 1,016 on the 1209 Hodge, and then the 1378 New, which was my 908 Cook, which I thought would go heavier, was my lightest pumpkin, and measured much bigger but weighed much less. So I mean, I had done really well last year, and I really thought, you know, I'd beat myself up on what I could have done better, and I should have done this and I should have done that, and I should have been, you know, here and there and all that stuff. But at the same time, when Chris tells me today, like, you grew it on super tiny plants, like it's just almost mind-blowing to him even how anything was grown, right? And so that makes you feel good when another grower acknowledges your accomplishments, even at the facts of your mishaps, your failure, your misunderstanding, just being a young grower or whatever, right? Like, when they still acknowledge, like, you did super good compared to, and if everybody knew that, you know, like, and so, and then he goes on to say, like, I don't see no reason why you can't get that jacket this year. That makes you feel good. That gives you confidence. That builds you up. And I think that's what we're supposed to do for one another. We're supposed to be truthful with one another and give good advice, solid advice, not kiss each other's rear ends, because that in the long run will hurt us. But be truthful and honest with one another and give those attaboys when those attaboys are rightfully due, right? And so, Chris, thank you so much. That really boosted my confidence, and really did make me think all day today, like, wow, you know, like, he's right. I did a really good job on a really bad job first year, right? Like, most growers would not have done that. It would not have been an accomplishable thing, right? And so that made me feel good. These plants hopefully are going to be rock stars. I'll be planting my 1347.5 Rodebaughs, and we got these other two that we're going to, of these 19 65.5s that we'll be throwing in to the incubator. And so tomorrow we'll be potting up the other plants over there, and all that. We'll show you those tomorrow. But guys, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. We appreciate you, and we'll see you tomorrow right here in the Hollers and Hills of West Virginia.
Don't forget to smash that like button. Hit that notification bell. Don't forget to share.
Thank you, good sir.
You're welcome. And subscribe.